Zhong Changyu, an engineer who left his job at ASML, a Dutch company that is the only one capable of producing a specific machine essential for manufacturing the world's most advanced semiconductor chips. After leaving ASML, Yu started two companies, one in the US and one in China, allegedly using stolen information from ASML. This story is a microcosm of China's massive effort to transform the semiconductor industry, which has led to a struggle with the United States. This struggle is not just about technology or economics, it's also about power and control. The semiconductor industry is crucial because chips are the brains of all modern electronics, from smartphones to military weapons systems. The first semiconductor chip was invented in the 1950s by engineers in the US. The more transistors a chip has, the more powerful it is. Since the 1960s, semiconductors have improved exponentially, following Moore's law, which states that the number of transistors on a chip doubles approximately every 2 years. The US government was the main customer of these chips, using them in guidance computers for NASA spacecraft and missile systems. The government believed that a deep partnership with chip companies would ensure access to the most advanced chips, which were crucial for national security and technological superiority. By the late 1960s, chip companies realized they could make more money by designing chips for civilian products like corporate computers. They moved their manufacturing and assembly to factories in Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, and Hong Kong, where labor was cheaper. The US government encouraged this move to support the economies of these countries and deepen ties. However, these companies were banned from sharing technology with the Soviet Union and China. This move marked the beginning of the globalization of the chip industry, with different parts of the supply chain spread across different countries. China was lagging behind in chip technology due to the US blocking it from accessing chips during the Cold War, and the exodus of many of China's brightest scientists and engineers during the 60s and 70s. However, new Chinese leaders pushed to catch up. By the 1990s, the US had become friendlier with China and lifted most of its export controls. China enticed many chip companies to move their assembly operations to China, and by the 2000s, China dominated this end of the supply chain. Despite these efforts, China is still years away from making the most cutting-edge chips. Despite China's efforts, it is still reliant on a few companies for advanced chips, none of which are in China. The US has exploited these choke points to stop China's chip industry in its tracks. The US has also passed a law to invest billions of dollars into its own chip manufacturing companies, and finalized a deal with Taiwan's biggest manufacturer, TSMC, to build manufacturing plants in the US. This struggle over control of the semiconductor industry has global implications, forcing countries and companies around the world to pick sides in what